Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to TMC virtual class. Today we will revise Political Science, chapter number 3, Political Parties. As you know, in democracy, political parties are playing very important role. It connects common people, democracy, representations, and elections. Whenever elections is coming soon, we all are talking about political parties. In this chapter, in short, we will see meaning of political parties, then types of political parties and political party system in India. First, see objective of political parties. In this chapter, first objective is to know the meaning and types of political parties. Second is understand characteristic of political parties. And third is analyze the political party system in India. Before we start this chapter, again, first have a look at main keywords. Okay, first keyword is political parties. Second, party ideology, mass base, party agenda, single dominant party system, coalition government, national parties and regional parties. Important question, what is the meaning of political party? You may think whenever political parties comes in your mind, you may think it is an organization. Yes, absolutely correct. It is an organization. But you have to remember it is not a common organization which we see. Okay, so the normal organization or groups or institutions working in to achieve some objectives. But political party is it's a organizations which has an objective of political power. That you have to remember. This is the difference between an ordinary organization and political party. So we can define political party as when a people form organizations with the objective of achieving political power and participate in the electoral process. Electoral process means election. Such organizations are called as political parties. In this definition, you have to remember two keywords. It is an organization. Okay. Important objective of this organization is achieving political power. Every political party involves in the politics or country's affair to achieve political power. And therefore, to achieve these political parties, they are participating in election, in an electoral process. Electoral process means election. You know, every 5 years we are conducting elections at a regional level and at a national levels. So these organizations is participating in election. Okay, so can you define again? I'm repeating again. When a people form organizations with the objective of achieving political power and participate in the electoral process, such an organization is called as political parties. Okay, so most important question here, they may ask you what is the meaning of political party and what are the characteristics of political parties. Another important point you have to remember here, there are two types of political parties. Some political parties are working at a national levels, some are working to a particular regions. So that we will learn in the next point. Okay, before that we will try to understand what are the characteristics of political parties. Okay, first here important characteristic to be in power. Second is to pursue an ideology. Third is to have a party agenda. And next is to establish a government. And the last one is to act as a link between the government and the people. So first you know to be in a power. What is the meaning of power here? To set up their own government, to achieve majority in an election process, electoral process. So here every political party has a main objective is achieving power through election. Is it clear? So is the main objective and the political parties are trying to acquire this power through the participating in election. Thus, different political parties compete with each other. But this competition is a healthy competition, not like other competitions. Is it clear? So there is not wrong, nothing is wrong in this competition. It is taken as a healthy competition. Remember, in this point, you have to remember keyword is a power. And what is the meaning of power? Power means to set up own government. So all political parties are competing with each others to acquire power. Is it clear? Next point here, to perceive an ideology. Whenever you are talking about any particular party, okay, take a BJP or Congress or any regional or national political parties, whenever you call their names, suddenly their ideology comes in your mind. Is it clear? So, for example, when you talk about BJP, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, that theme is coming. That is an ideology of BJP, especially our Prime Minister. Then the Congress, when you talk about the Congress, their ideology is secularism. Okay, so this way, every political party has their own ideology. So, what is the meaning of ideology here? They have a particular stand about social issues. Okay, particular stand about social issues. These together make a party ideology. So, here some policies and some particular stand when they have, that is when we bring together, that is called as ideology. I am repeating again, every political party has some policies and world views. Then parties have a particular stand about social awareness or social issues, you can say, and together make party's agenda, or sorry, excuse me, ideology. So this way, here the people who consider any specific party ideology as acceptable support that political party. If you take here example of Congress, mostly you find all religious peoples are supporting Congress because that party is based on the ideology of secularism, sociology, secularism, and therefore peoples belong to all caste and community are supporting that. Then you find here most of the other parties also based on the particular ideology, and they are following that ideology, and therefore people, those who followers of these parties, they love or they like that ideology. Is it clear? So here social support received by a political parties, social by a political party is called as mass base of political party. So in modern days, ideology of all political parties are appear to be similar. Hence, it has become difficult to differentiate between the parties on the basis of ideologies. If you take regional parties or national parties, you find their ideology is very same or similar. For example, in a present days, most of the parties are giving importance to development, giving importance to secularisms, and therefore you find there is no much differences in their philosophy, in their ideology. Third point, as a characteristic, you have to remember here, to have a party agenda. So all the political parties are preparing their agenda on the basis of the political party's ideology. So here they implement the agenda after they get political power. If they do not get political power, or political parties try to get support of a people on the basis of their agenda or this agenda. Okay, next one is to establish a government. You know, every party's objective is to set up their own government, and therefore they are participating in election. So the party which get majority in the elections, they set up their own government. But those parties who don't get their majority, they are working as an opposition party. So parties which do not get majority act as an opposition party, and those who get a majority, they form their government. Last point here, to act as a link between the government and the people. Everyone know that political parties work as a link between government and the people. So here political parties communicate the demands and complaints of the people to the government. So government tries to get support of the people for its policies and programs through the political parties. So these points you have to remember as a characteristic of political parties. I revise again: to be in power, to pursue an ideology, to have a party agenda, then to establish a government, to act as a link between the government and the people. So nowadays you find these objectives or a nature of the political parties is not remaining same. It is keep on changing. So some examples we will see in this point is changing nature of political party system in India. So you find earlier before 1990s, okay, we had a single dominant party system. What is the meaning of single dominant party system? We had only one party, that was a Congress. Okay, most of time they formed their government. So the Congress was a strong political party in the post-independence period. So when we got independence, after that, up to the 1977, you find Congress was the ruling party in India. So here Congress had a majority at the center and in most of the states, and Indian politics was completely controlled by the Congress party. This era or this period was described as an era of single dominant party. Is it clear? So the one party was controlling the country and the therefore dominant word is used here. Then you find the non-Congress parties came into existence or came together. Okay, excuse me. The non-Congress parties came together and challenged single dominant party system in 1977. Now let's see. After this, okay, after the 1989, you find Lok Sabha election, the system of a one party emerging as the dominant party came to an end, and the other parties also got opportunity to set up their government. So since then, you find different parties began to come together to form coalition government. Here is another important word is coalition government. You find after that period of 89, no one political party could able to form their single party could not able to form their government. Why? Because people did not give vote to only one single party. So people prefer to give vote to various parties, and no one party got a majority. So different parties had to come together and they set up their government, and that government is called as coalition governments. So both the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress Party made an experiment of establishing coalition governments. And the belief that coalition government brings instability, means no stability, and it was proved wrong by the political party system in our country. So, in fact, the coalition government system is established in India. So, remember year 1989 onwards, we had a coalition government. Then, around 1977, the non-Congress parties came together and challenged single dominant party system in India. So, these are the 2 years you have to remember. After the 1989 Lok Sabha election, the system of one party emerging as a dominant party came to an end, and since then different parties began to come together and form coalition government that we have studied. So remember as a key point. Now here, do you know? See this, some brackets or boxes are given in your textbook. Go through this. Okay. First here, if a power remains with a one political party for a long period, and if no other political parties are influential, the party system is called as one party system. Okay. Most of the advanced countries, you find these types of concepts. Okay, then in a politics, when two political parties are influential and if political parties enjoy power, alternatively the party system is called as two party system. You find in the USA they have a two party system. When many political parties compete for political power and the more or less they are equally influential, the party system is called multi-party system. So in India, we have a multi-party system that you remember. And also try to understand the national parties and the regional parties. So to get a recognition as a national party, the election commission has prescribed following rules. Okay, following conditions. First condition is a political party should secure minimum 6% of the valid votes in a four or a major states in the earlier Lok Sabha or a state assembly elections. Then the minimum 4 members should be elected in the Lok Sabha from any state or states in the earlier elections. So two conditions you have to remember: 6% of the valid votes in the 4 states, and the second one is 4 members should be elected in the Lok Sabha from any state or any states in the earlier election. Next point here, now or condition is here, the candidates of a party should be elected from minimum 2% constituencies out of total Lok Sabha constituencies and from minimum 3 states. Next point here, to get a recognition as a regional party, the Election Commission has prescribed the following condition. First condition, a political party should secure minimum 6% of the valid votes in the earlier Lok Sabha or the state assemblies assembly elections, and the minimum 2 members should be elected in the Vidhan Sabha. Vidhan Sabha means state assembly. Or condition is a political party should secure minimum 3% of seats out of total seats of Vidhan Sabha. So state assembly or minimum 3 seats that you have to remember. Now let's know about some important political parties in India. I think you all are familiar with all these political parties, but let's learn in a detail. First is the national parties. As you know, the parties which are working at a national level, they are called as national parties. So first important party in our country is the Indian National Congress. So the Indian National Congress was established in 1885 by Dr. Hume, and the party from the beginning follows the policy of secularism, all-round development, equal rights and the welfare for minorities and disadvantages sections of the society, means poor section which was kept away from the all facilities and all the rights. Okay, then the party believes in a democratic socialism, social equality and international peace. So these are the some important points you have to remember. According to Congress has organized various programs to achieve those objectives. Okay, the party believes in democratic socialism, social equality and international peace. Next important party is Communist Party of India. So this party based on the communist ideology and was established in 1925 in an old, it is an old party in India. This party works for the welfare of laborers and workers, and the party party oppose capitalism. You know, in economics we have a two concepts: socialism and capitalism. Capitalism means all the resources of the country controlled and owned by private sectors, whereas social communism or socialism means all the resources should be owned by public. So communist parties of India or any communist party in the world, they believe that all the resources should be controlled by government, and there should not be capitalism in the country. So the Communist Party of India leadership developed differences in 1962 over the issue of whether the Communist Party of India should accept the Chinese communism or Soviet Union. So this led to the split, means division in Communist Party of India, and a separate party set up during that time. Communist Party of India, Marxist, was formed. Third important party you have to remember here, Bharatiya Janata Party. So Bharatiya Janasangh Party, Bharatiya Janata Party, it is an important political party at the national level. Bharatiya Janasangh was established in the 1951, and then the this party was merged with the Janata Party, and that was established in 1977. Janata Party could not survive, and there was a split in the party and Bharatiya Janasangh. Then the components party of Janata Party established a new party in the 1980, Bharatiya Janata Party. The party stands for the protection of Indian culture and tradition. The party gives importance to economic reforms. And you know, at present, this party is ruling the government. So here the party give importance to economic reforms, and you find at present this party is ruling in a national level. Ruling at a national level. And the third party is Communist Party of India. So this is a Marxist party, and this party proclaims socialism, secularism, democracy. The party opposes imperialism. All of you know, mostly communist parties are on the, following the philosophy of Marx. Okay, and the Marx has completely opposed imperialism or capitalism. So party's policy is to protect the interests of workers, farmers and landless poor laborers. Next party here, Bahujan Samaj Party. Bahujan Samaj Party professes the socialist ideology. Then in 1984, the party was established with the objective of protecting the interest of majority scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, religious minorities and other backward classes together constitute a majority. The parties aim to give power in the hands of the majority, and therefore they use the word Bahujan. Bahujan means majority of people. Next party is Nationalist Congress Party. In 1999, there was a split in a Congress Party, and the Nationalist Congress Party was established. So the party believes in the values of a democracy, then the equality and secularism. The party was in power in Maharashtra from 1999 to 2014 in a coalition with the Congress Party. At present, you find it is again in a government with a coalition of Shiv Sena and Congress Party. So Nationalist Congress Party for a long period was also a part of coalition government led by Congress at the center from 2004 to 2014. Next party is Trinamool Congress. So All Indian Trinamool Congress Party was established in 1998, and since last 1 month we are hearing about this party. Next point here, the establishment of this party. This party was established in 1998, and the Election Commission gave the party recognition as a national party in 2016. So party supports democracy, secularism, and protection of the interest of a weaker sections of the society. Now let's see the number of seats secured by national parties in the Lok Sabha elections of 2009 and 2014. See here, national parties. Indian National Congress, they acquired 206 seats in 2009. In 2014, 44 seats. Next party, Communist Party of India, got 4 seats in 2009 and the 1 seat in 2014. Then Bharatiya Janata Party received 116 seats in 2009 and 282 in 2014. Then Communist Party of India, Marxist, got 16 seats in 2009 and the 9 seats in 2014. Bahujan Samaj Party, 21 seats in 2009 and nil in 2014. Nationalist Congress Party got 9 seats in 2009 and 6 seats in 2014. Just read all these headlines of a newspaper, you find power shift in Tamil Nadu, then the political marketing leading to terror, etc. etc. So by reading these all different types of news, we get information about various parties exist in the different states. So can you identify which are the different parties at the different states and what are their main objectives? And do these parties function only at a state level, or some states leaders are influential at a national levels, which some have influence only at state level? Why is it so? So here, with the help of such questions, we will try to get information about various regional parties. Before that, what is the meaning of regional parties? Regional parties are those parties or groups in the regions who have a proud feeling about the different identity of their regions and who compete to get political power with the objective of regional development. So which are the regional parties? Can you name it? And what are the changes in nature of political regional parties in India? You find initially regional identities gave rise to the separatist movement. Then the demand of a regional parties gradually changed, and the regional parties demanded that for the development of the regions. The development of regional parties in Northeast shows a different trend. So you can find out here differences in their education policies, in their traditions, history, okay, of social reforms, etc. And that is giving them a regional identity. So one by one, we will see all these 3 points. First point here, initially regional identities gave rise to the separatist movement. If you see some states, they wanted separation from India. For example, Khalistan movement or Dravidian movement started in India, especially in south Tamil Nadu, then in the north, Khalistan means Punjab. These are the states, they gave more importance to their regional identity and therefore they demanded separation from India. But over a period, you find changes took place. Okay, so the demand of a regional parties gradually changed. Instead of an independent state, they started demanding more autonomy, more freedom. And this was the second stage in the development of regional parties. And this stage began after 1990. But unfortunately, this year again we found some noise about Khalistan movement. Okay, then the third point, the regional parties demanded that for the development of the regions. If you see some states, they are very backward and therefore their local governments or regional governments demanding for the development of that area. In Maharashtra, Shiv Sena and in the in Andhra Pradesh, you find Telugu Deshams, they are demanding regional development. Whereas the development of regional parties in the northeast is a completely following different trend. They gave up their demand for the demand of separatism, and now they are becoming a active governments and giving importance to their state identity. And the regional parties from northeast are now entering in a mainstream of national politics and national affairs. So, in short, we can say that role of the regional parties in India have passed through various phases from separatism to autonomy and from autonomy to development of the regions. So, these are the changes took place that you have to remember. And nowadays, they are playing important role in a national politics also. You find most of the regional parties are now participating in the national government. They are helping to the major national parties to form their government. So coalition parties is one of the consequence of their increasing influence in national politics. So in India we have a many regional parties, and it is not possible to cover all these parties, to know all these parties. So we will focus only on few important regional parties. First is uh, can you identify symbol of this? Yes, this is a Shiv Sena's symbol, and you find the main political party in Maharashtra established in 1966, and you know the main leader Balasaheb Thackeray. Then the main objective of this party is protection of the rights of a Marathi people, then the promotion of Marathi language, resistance to people from other states or other regions. Then in the 1995, it entered into the coalitions with the BJP and came to power in Maharashtra. Then it shared power with the BJP in Maharashtra since 2014. At present also, it is in the government with the coalition of coalition of Congress and Nationalist Congress Party. Next important party here, previous one. So next one is Shiromani Akali Dal. Understood which state? Yes, it is from Punjab. So established in 1920, a prominent regional party in Punjab. Then the objective of cultivating religious and regional identity assumes power in Punjab for many years. Third party is, yes, Jammu and Kashmir National Conference. So main regional party in Kashmir and established in 1932. Protect the interest of Kashmiri people and protections of autonomous status. Next party is Assam Gun Parishad. Assam Agreements was signed in 1985. Then resolve the problems of displaced people. Then protect the unique cultural, linguistic, and the social identity of Assam. Economic development of Assam. Assam. Then the assuming power in Assam for many years. And the next party is Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam. This is a Justice Party, a non-Brahmin movement in the 1920 was transformed into Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam, a political party. Then in the 1944, Justice Party came to be known as a Dravid Kazhagam. And in 1944, a group separated from this party established another party, Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam. Another group separated from this party in 1972 and established All India Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam. So protection of Tamil people, Tamil identity, member of coalition government at the center for some years, and the party supports of voters from all sections of society. It was in power for a long period and implemented many policies. So this way in India we have many regional parties in every state and that have influenced the state politics. Let's see here regional parties in Maharashtra, representation in Vidhan Sabha. So seats owned by these political parties in election 2009 and in election 2014. Shiv Sena owned 44 seats in 2009 and 63 seats in 2014. Over a period, it's the number of seats increase. Then Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, earlier they owned 13 seats in 2009. Then the 2014 they got 1 seat. Then Peasant and Workers Party, 4 seats in 2009, 3 seats in 2014. Republican Party of India, Bahujan Mahasangha, owned 1 seat in 2009 and owned 1 seat in 2014. Republican Party of India, no seat in 2009 and 2014. Samajwadi Party owned 4 seats in 2009 and 1 seat in 2014. Then Bahujan Vikas Aghadi owned 2 seats in 2009 and 3 seats in 2014. Then Rashtriya Samaj Paksha owned 1 seat in 2009 and 14 seats in 1 seat in 2014. All India Majlis A Ittehadullah Muslimin didn't win any seat in 2009 but owned 2 seats in 2014. Surajya Shakti owned 2 seats in 2009 and no seat in 2014. Same way here, Lokasangram owned 1 seat in 2009 and no seat in 2014. The last is Swabhimani Party owned 1 seat in 2009 and no seat in 2014. So in this chapter, we took a review of national and regional political parties in India. Let's see some question answers. So here first choose the correct options from the given options and complete these sentences. First is when people come together and participate in an electoral process to acquire political power, such organizations are called dash. Options are government, political parties, society, social organization. Yes, identify answer. Answer is political parties. Next one is National Conference is a party in dash state. Options are Orissa, Bihar, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir. Answer is Jammu Kashmir. Last one, Justice Party, a non-Brahmin movement, was transformed into dash political party. Options are Assam Gana Parishad, Shiv Sena, Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam, Jammu and Kashmir National Conference. Option is C, Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam. Then the next point question is state whether following statements are true or false and give reasons for your answer. First question is political parties act as a link between people, government and people. Answer is true. So you have to mention the above statement is true. Then what are the reasons here? You have to prove it with the examples. Okay. Political, excuse me. So the here first question is political parties act as a link between government and people. So in this you have to say whether the statement is true or false. This statement is true. So you have to explain how the political parties act as a link between people and government and people. So the answer you will get on the page number 83. Okay, political parties work as a link between the government and the people. Political parties communicate the demands and the complaints of the people to the government, and the government tries to get a support of the people for its policies and programs through the political parties. These are the 2 points you have to explain in this point. Next question is, political parties are social organization. So in this you have to explain how answer is true or false. So answer is true. It is a social organization because it is organization of the people, and political parties are formed by the uh, um, uh, एक minute, correct. Let's see the state whether following statements are true or false. Give reasons for your answers. First question is, political parties act as a link between government and people. This statement is true, and then you have to explain why. The political parties communicate the demands and complaints of the people to the government, and the government tries to get support of people for its policies and programs through the political parties. Second statement is, political parties are social organization. So the above statement is true, and the answer you have to mention here. Reason: the political parties are social organizations of which the objective to attaining power, winning elections, and forming the government. Then second reason here, the political parties have an ideology and agenda towards achieving their goals, social goals, through electoral process. Next question here. Coalition politics leads to instability. Yes, coalition parties politics leads to instability. The above statement is, coalition politics leads to instability. Stop. Next question is, coalition politics leads to instability. The above statement is false in case of India at least. Okay, so the after 1989 Lok Sabha election, the system of one party emerging as a dominant party came to an end. Then both the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress Party made an experiment of establishing coalition governments. Then the belief that coalition governments brings instability was proved wrong by the political parties system in our country. And in fact, coalition government system is stabilized in India, and therefore this statement is false. Next one is, Shiromani Akali Dal is a national party. This statement is also false. It is a regional party, from Punjab. So you have to give reason. First, Shiromani Akali Dal is a regional political party which has assumed power in Punjab for many years. And the second point you have to mention, it was established in 1920, a prominent regional party in Punjab with the objective of cultivating religious and regional identity. Next question is, explain the following concept. In that you have to explain two concepts are given here, regionalism and national parties. So in a regionalism you have to explain about the regions and any regions that people or political parties having over proud about their regions. Okay, so they are very conscious about identity, and that gives concept of regionalism, birth of the concept of regionalism, and then people start developing their own regions, and they start feeling proud of their language, okay, literature, tradition, history of social reforms, and educational and cultural movements, and this gives rise to the development of linguistic identity. So all these points, how the consciousness about one regions given importance that you have to mention in this point. Then the national parties, you have to mention about meaning of national parties and which are the national parties and what are their main objectives. So parties, those who are ruling at a national level, they are called as national parties. What are the here conditions put forward by our election commission, that also you have to mention. Next point here, answer the following questions in a brief. In that, what are the major characteristics of political parties? Already we have discussed in our beginning of the chapter or today's lecture. To be in power, to perceive an ideology, then to have a party agenda, and to establish a government, and to act as the link between the government and political people, that you have to mention in this characteristic of political parties. Last question, what changes have taken place in the nature of political parties in India? So in that you have to explain what are the changes took place in our Indian politics and political parties over a period of time. Okay, first we discuss about three points. First point, the Congress was a ruling party in India. Okay, that system we called as the single dominant party system. Okay, second point, the non-Congress parties came together and challenged single dominant party system in 1977. And the last point, after the 1989 Lok Sabha election, the system of one party emerging as a dominant party came to an end. So this way here our lecture is over.